Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Save to Bloom podcast. I'm your host, Gabrielle Bailey. Welcome back, or welcome to another episode. What's going on, everybody? What's the stitch? What's happening in your world? Talk to me. Comment, let me know what's going on. I want to hear from you. So, this episode, as all the episodes, child, let's just be honest, as every single last one of them, came from a place presently in my life. And a situation happened. It wasn't bad at all, but a situation happened that made me realize, like, God is really in control. God's really going to do what God's going to do. And he's the one calling the shots. I'm just doing whatever he's asking me to do, but he's really got everything in control. And you know what? I love that for me. I may not always get it. I may not understand it every single time. Most of the time, all the time, really. But God's going to do his good God in, and I'm going to leave it in his hands. And I'm thankful that I get to do that. I'm thankful that I don't get to control every bits of piece of what? Why I get on here and I can't talk? What is this? I can't control every part, every facet of my life, and that's okay. It can be hard to not control everything, especially I was talking with somebody and they mentioned something that is just a fact, unfortunately, for people who have been through traumatic events, that we like to try and control things because we couldn't control certain situations and events and things that happen to us. And so we want to be able to control things, but in God, you have to be able to let go of that control and let God do what God's going to do. And it's hard to do, but ultimately, I would rather trust God with the plans that he has for my life and let him do his little snake thing, his little 1-2, whatever, instead of me trying to control everything and run it, because I'll run it raggedy into the ground. You hear me? It'll be no good, no bueno. It'll last and be sustainable for some time. But at the end of the day, the day's got to end, and it will end quickly. If you leave me in control. You know what I'm saying? It'll just be a miserable life as it was before I came to him. So I got to let God be in control. I got to let God work it out. And while it is still a process, it's still very much so a process, I just am thankful for what I went through that reminded me that he's really in control, and he's really, like, he thinks of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, we think of things based off of what we can see. So we react based off of okay, this immediate thing is before me. This is the next step. This is a step that can come after that. And we can only go but so far because we only know but so much. But he's big G, big dog. He can see everything, so he don't need all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't take, I can only go but so far. But now he can surpass that, babes. Like, to infinity and beyond. I'm very animated today. You're welcome. I don't know. Bear with me. So yeah, I'm gonna be reading off of here because I wrote a lot and I want to make sure that I capture everything. All right, so yeah, so there was one particular area of my life where things just weren't going the way that I wanted it to. And I was just frustrated because it wasn't just involving me, but it was involving somebody else. And I was just like, why can't things just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still waiting for God to work it out, but he has given me what I need to be at peace so that he can do what he needs to do and I can do my part. But before this peace that I've now obtained and I'm holding on to, because I'm not just going to let it be a one-time, 1-week peace. I'm going to maintain this posture of resting and trusting in God. And before that, I have like moments of going in and out or whatever. But overall, to be honest, I just really didn't trust God in this area, even though I was seeing the fruit of God showing up and pulling up for me every single time. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, not thrice, not 50 times, a bazillion gillion times, okay? He was showing up and pulling up for me so many times, it's crazy. And I was still doubting. I was still like, so what are we gonna do? So what's gonna happen this time? What are we actually doing? You know what I'm saying? And so the other person that was involved, I was having a I'm not trying to get no details, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to expose the details of it, but you get the gist. And so I was talking with them, and they were feeling frustrated about some stuff, and I was just like, girl, I don't know what to tell you, because we don't been here before. I don't know. And I was just a little exhausted, and I said, you know what? Instead of me going back and forth and trying to maintain this conversation and go through this loop again, I said, you know what? Let me pray. And so I told them, call me later when you finish doing your little stuff, you know, get settled or whatever, and call me back because I want to pray for you. And I just prayed like, Lord, lead me in this prayer. Do what you have to do, because like, let your will be done. You know what I'm saying? Because what we're not going to do is have notifications interrupting this. Praise God. So I said, Lord, do what you got to do, you know, have your way. And so we prayed, and things shifted. Things shifted completely. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to go a certain way, but it shifted. And God ended up ministering to that person and drawing them closer to him. And it was an answered prayer that I have been having for years, so long. My flabber was really gassed, y'all. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what is happening? And so after we got off the call, after we prayed, you know what I'm saying, I was trying to process, because I'm just like, what's going on? I'm thankful, but like, I need to process this, because what I prayed for, this person being drawn closer to God, this just happened. And I wouldn't have expected it to come from this moment, but God, you're moving. Like, you're really moving. And so I was like, Lord, like, oh my gosh, like, what's going on? What's happening? Talk to me. And did I write down specifically what he said? Yeah, I was praying for them to have faith, and God just really moved. But I can't remember specifically what he said. But the gist of what he said was that he allowed things to be the way that they are so that he could gain the attention of the other person. While it was not in his will for things to be this way, he was using it to draw them closer to him. So he allowed this season of hardship to be a moment to draw someone in, to be a testimony, not just for me, but for them also. So that in the midst of me going through and them being somebody who's walking in faith and partnering with me, like, instead of it just being like, oh, God's going to show up on your behalf and I'm going to receive something, like, no, let it be, I'm also partnering with God, and God's going to show up in my life because of my obedience and because of my faith that I have towards him. He used a moment that was hard. He used a season. It's been a long periodically time, but he's been using this so he could draw the person closer to them. Could it be that whatever it is that you're facing is not just for you, but for somebody else? Could it be that God is trying to draw someone else in closer to his presence? Because we know that our life is not our own. We might be going through things and suffering through things, and it's hard and it's challenging. And we're just like, what in the world is going on? But God wants to reach somebody else. He not only wants to be a blessing to you, he not only wants to do things through you, he not only wants to take you through a process and do whatever he got to do, right? He not only wants to do that through you, but through somebody else. Because think about it. One of the ways that we, I won't say encounter God, but like see God. I guess, yeah, encounter God and things like that. It's through other people. He can speak to us on his own, but he will use other people to draw us closer. So what's he going to do? He's going to draw other people closer. And it's not so that like it's not like a let me break her bone so I can heal it necessarily, but it's like in the crushing process that he is bringing you through, he is going to be drawing someone else in so that they can see the crushing process, they can see the change and the shift that is happening, and they can see the oil that is produced, that is fruitful, that is being used, that is being productive out in society. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we are going through is not just for us, but it's for other people as well. Yeah, there are going to be times and seasons where God is going to do things and use us and do whatever he decides to do in ways that we don't think of, in ways that we're not expecting, or what. Like, I was not expecting the conversation that I had with this person was not a conversation that I had for the first time, right? But my heart wasn't just like let me just explain it to you and blah, blah, but it was like, let me posture them before the Father, because I can't want something more for you than you want for yourself. I want you to have everything that God has for you, but I need you to want everything that God has for you. So I postured them I placed them before God. I said, you know what, Lord, I want to give this person to you. I want to submit them to you in prayer, and I'm going to do it with the person so that their heart can be opened as well. And God used that moment that was just me just being like, you know what, God, I'm not going to try and fix it myself. I'm not going to try and dictate what the end of this is going to look like. I'm just simply going to submit this to you so that you can have your way in this person's life. And I'm going to trust that you are going to work everything out in my favor, in their favor. It's going to happen, and it's going to be good, and it's going to be God. And I'm going to submit them to you. And God blew my mind, and he did something that I did not expect him to do. He saved that person. He reached them from where they were, and he pulled them up higher so that they could come closer to God. And my heart is still trying to process what's going on. And I'm still emotional just thinking about it, because what? But God in his infinite mercy, like, he knew what was going to happen, but it didn't happen the way that I expected it to. I would have expected this person to become saved from like they came to church one time and then the Lord bit them and they fell out in the pew and oh God. I would have expected it to be your typical, what you expect someone, you know what I'm saying? They go to church, they have not that that sounds bad. I'm not saying that like it's bad, but I'm just saying like, you know what I'm saying? Like I guess you would expect certain encounters to happen in certain environments that are already kind of set this way, not just like we're having a conversation about something that's hard, something that's challenging for the both of us, and then God is meeting us here in this moment, and your heart has been turned towards him, and now you're receiving salvation. Like, what? It's not what I was expecting, but it's what was needed. God knew this is what I gotta do. I'm trying to save her. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do what I gotta do for her. And if that means that in your process, in your season of becoming, in your timeline of doing the things that I need to do in you, that I have to also do things to reach this person, then I'm going to do what needs to be done. If that means that I have to prolong something longer than you thought it was going to be, so I not only reach you and process you and pull things out of you so that you're prepared and ready for your next, but I also in the midst of that am placing this person in a position where they're now submitted at my feet, where they're now hungry and thirsty for my presence. He gonna do what he's got to do, and it might not come the way that you expect, but it's going to be on time, and it's going to be God, and it's going to be so good. We can't look for God to show up in a specific way, and then when it doesn't come that way, be like, oh, it's not God. Okay, but how do you know that? How do you not know that what you're in right now is not the grace and mercy of God that is allowing things to take place so that he can do what he needs to do in the way that he wants to do it? Whether it's for you, whether it's for somebody else, whatever it is that he's doing, why can't it look different? It's not going to look the same every single time. It's just not. He knows what needs to get done, and he's going to do whatever it takes to get that done. As long as we partner with him, as long as we're doing what we're supposed to do, as long as we're in position and all that good stuff and all that jazz, then baby, he going to pull up for you. And it might not look the way that you want it to, but it doesn't mean that it's not him. It does not mean that it's not him. We cannot see the beginning from the end, but he can. Oh yeah, it doesn't have to make sense when it's God. We just need to obey. 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 Just do what he said. Just do what he said. I'm doing what he said. He told me to pull up now. Are the things that I could be doing better? Absolutely. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna say that I've been perfect, but I've been doing what God has said. And in this area, because I submitted to him, this person in this situation and all this other stuff in a way that wasn't just like okay, Father, take it, but like a for real, like, I'm tired of fighting this fight. I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm just going to submit it to you, and God, do your good Godding. Do what needs to be done. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to sit up here and do too much. But I'm going to let you do what you need to do. Okay? This next part, I mean, not what I'm about to read, but I'm going to read it word for word because it ate me up. Yeah, we don't have to think about how everything is going to work out. We can just trust that he's going to come through. He's going to work it all out. Whether it looks the way that we expected, whether it looks the complete opposite, whether it requires more people than we thought involved, whether it doesn't require the people that we thought was involved, whatever it looks like, just keep trusting God that he's going to work everything out. He doesn't need our permission to be God. He doesn't need our permission to do the things that he wants to do in the way that he wants to do it. So just let him do it. You gotta stop fighting him. You gotta stop trying to knocketh if thy bucketh against the Lord and let him do what he needs to do. Let him work it out. So I'm just gonna read this part because it ouched me for real. I said, oh God, you didn't have to say that. Oh, I'm pressing buttons. Okay. Stop trying to control the narrative of something God has already written. Let's say it again. Stop trying to control the narrative of something God has already written. He has already determined the end, written the middle, and accomplished everything that needs to get done. Take your hands off of it and let God be God. He's a spicy God, but he makes a whole lot of sense. And he's right. Can I argue? Absolutely not. I cannot argue with that, Lord. I cannot, in fact, argue with that because you are right. You've already established it. You've already worked it out. And here I am trying to rewrite what's already been done because I don't like the way that I think it's going, or I feel like it should be altered a little bit, or I feel like this should make more sense. One more time. Stop trying to control the narrative of something God has already written. It's already written. It's already been done. It's already been spoken. He said what he said. And he meant what he said. We've got to relinquish control, whether you've been through trauma or not. The control thing is just more of a thing for people who have been through traumatic stuff, but us as humans, we like to control things and see it a certain way. And when we don't, we can get in our feelings and try and navigate the situation in the way that we want it to. That's called manipulation. We're trying to manipulate God's plan to work for our agenda. Oh God, this is hurting me. We're trying to manipulate God's plan to fit our agenda that we say is, or we want to match God's plan. That doesn't make sense. Let God work it out for you. Let him do what needs to be done. Let him tell you where you need to go. Let you show up the way that you need to show up. Do what you need to do and let God work everything out for you. Do what he's asking you to do and let him take everything else, put it where it needs to go, place it where it needs to be placed, and let it work for you in the end. He's not asking for much because he's doing most of the heavy labor. And what he's asking you to do, yes, it's hard. Yes, it's challenging. Yes, it's whatever. But submit it to him. Give it to him. Talk to him. Go to him. Let him carry you through that. Because you trying to take on all these weights and all this stuff for something that he's not asking you to. And then now you're feeling tired and burnt out and overworked and all this stuff. And he's like, but why? Be at peace. Like, execute what I'm asking you to execute on. But I'm not asking for you to take on the world and become superwoman. And I'm just asking you to do what you need to do and come to me for the rest. Come to me for the peace. Come to me for the joy. Come to me for the next steps. Come to me for what needs to get done. But it shouldn't be this thing where it's just so frustrating and so annoying and so overwhelming to do the will of the Father. It shouldn't feel that way. We might have our moments, but it shouldn't feel like every assignment he gives you is just so hard and so challenging that we question our salvation, that we question our walk, that we question who God is, that we question who we are, simply because it's another thing that God is pulling us through. Let him work it out for you. Do your part and let him do his part, because he's going to come through every single time. He has never failed. He died and rose on the third day. There is nothing that he cannot do. Let him work it out for you. I'm getting stirred and I need to come down. Oh God. Woo. Okay, so I have some scriptures. I have Isaiah 55, chapter 55, verse 8 through 9. It is that's too much, not too much. Zoom back out, please. It says, my thoughts are nothing like your thoughts, says the Lord, and my ways are far beyond anything you could imagine. For just as the heavens are higher than the earth, so my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. God's math is not our math. God's ways are not our ways. God's thoughts are not our thoughts. The things that he does and thinks of and calculates and put together just don't make sense. Regular math is 1 + 1 = 2. God math is 1 + 1 = 22. And then when you divide by blurple, you get a palm tree. And then if you subtract by a rock, you get a polar bear. Huh? It don't. And then now you're free. I don't know. Hershey on me, I don't know. But you know what? Somehow, the numbers plus that random color and all them little stuff that's added in between always works out in the end. It always adds up the way that it's supposed to. His thoughts are not our thoughts. His ways are not our ways. So we just got to lean into God and let him work it out, because at the end of the day, he's going to do what needs to get done. He's got it. He's got it under control. He's got it under control. Stop fighting him. Let him do what he needs to do and understand that he's going to work it out. The next one is Isaiah 26, 3 and 4. And it says, you will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you. Trust in the Lord always, for the Lord God is the eternal rock. We can trust him, and his trust brings peace. His trust brings peace. There is a peace. There's a rest that comes in just letting God work it out. We're gonna have our moments. Yes, we are. But let him do what he's got to do, because he has never failed you yet. You may have dropped the ball. Things may have come in and stolen your attention, but God has never failed you. He has never dropped you. He has never fallen short on his promises. Never, ever, 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 never. Okay? I gotta end this, because I can keep talking. I keep going on for a long period of time, and I feel myself getting so stirred. And maybe you know what? I might gather myself and save this for a Thursday prayer. If you're not joined to the Safe to Bloom community group, what are we doing? Huh? What are we actually doing? Join there. I am, wow, I thought I was going to wait, but apparently we're not. I'm going to be moving. That's far to just let him work it out. I'm going to let him work it out. I'm going to start moving the prayers that I do on my personal page into the group, because I just want to start building community. I don't care if it's about 3 of y'all in there. All 3 of us are going to hear from God. And I want you to join me. Follow on all the other socials, do all the things. And most importantly, you know what I'm going to say, take care of yourself. Pour into yourself. Love yourself. And let God work it out for you, because he's going to pull up. He don't play about you. He don't play about you. So let him do what he got to do. I love y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.